Basically, I think science is like everything because basically from opening a tin can or even like setting up a laptop or boiling some water, everything involves sciences. Nowadays, we are very lucky that we have all the resources that we can get, and such as the one by SAP, the Conquer book. I think this book has been very well prepared because the contents are laid out in the order where you need to use them. This is actually the book to go to where you can just flip open and quickly glance at the formula before going back to the question. Hi, I'm Leon. I'm the founder of Pathfinder Tuition. I started teaching math and sciences since the university day as a part-time tutor. And during my free time, I also help my peers in their homework and all this whenever they are stuck. And I feel very inspired always when I'm able to enlighten them. And sometimes they will even jokingly say that I'm more like a professor than anybody. Because of that, I think I developed a lot of teaching and I started thinking more harder, better ways to help students to understand each content better. And at Pathfinder Tuition, we do mathematics and sciences, which is exactly what I love to do. Basically, I think science is like everything because basically from opening a tin can or even setting up a laptop or boiling some water, everything involves sciences. So if you do not understand the basics of science, in general, you run into problem and you do not know how to deal with it. So in general, when we talk about sciences as a working engineer in the past, we also design a lot of working solutions to improve people's life. So I think sciences is really very important to help people to overcome their daily problems that they face. I think generally a lot of physics students, they feel that there's too much content to remember. But what I think is normally because that they try to remember or memorize the content. So the main thing they should try to do is to find linkages between content, much like a mind map. So me as a teacher, when I come in, I will try to do the bridges and the linkaging of all the different content in order to help them to understand better. So with that, they will have less things to memorize, only the key concepts. I think that thinking back as a student myself in the past, where we used to do a lot of notes taking in class and try to copy down every single thing the teacher say. Normally, the good thing about doing that is that the teacher has a flow and they already understood the subject matter very well. So they are able to give you the content in the order of the way that it should be laid out to you. But as a student themselves, normally they would not have this flow. So this is where I think nowadays we are very lucky that we have all the resources that we can get. And such as the one by SAP, the Conquer book, where they already lay out the content. There's a summarized version. There's even questions, example work solution that you can refer to if you're not too sure. So which serves as a very good companion guide to a lot of students. So what I think is that the cut short things that the assessment board has already helped us to do is really to help us to cut short the timing needed to do the note taking and coming out with your own summary notes. Generally, when I look back when I was a student in the past, we do have to do a lot of notes taking, we have to be quick enough to write down every single thing the teacher is talking about. The main thing the teachers is able to do for us is that to come up with the pointers in the order where they can help a student to understand the content. But if let's say you ask the student to do it themselves, generally it's not so easy. Which is why nowadays we are quite fortunate that we actually have ready assessments and also quick exam notes that can be available in the market. So such as the quick exam series, quick exam note series, where they can help you to quickly grasp the basic concept. And also the good thing is that there's also, for example, where you can follow, let's say you're not too sure how to do it, you can always refer to them to get a better idea of what you need to do. I think in my opinion, anybody who is a secondary school student and taking the national exam should try to use the books because this is a very good quick reference guide, and whenever you're doing a question where you've forgotten some concept or some formula, this is actually the book to go to, where you can just flip open and quickly glance at the formula before going back to the question. And what's more, there's also work example that you can actually try to use to help you to answer some of the questions as well. I think this book has been very well prepared because the contents are laid out in the order where you need to use them. So if you pick up the book, you can actually see that the first segment where they talk about the study notes. So if you look at it, the study note will then actually point out the key important concept that you need to look at. And then after that, they slowly move on to the part where it's more of how you tackle the question after the recap. Then you can look at some of the practical tips where how it actually happened in the when the practical itself. And also you can also look at the learning through example, where they're going to talk about the different types of question or the formula that you use. So after recapping the formula, then you are ready to look at the question by looking at the learning through example. So this is a very good flow for anybody who is preparing for the national exam. I would think that if you look through the quick exam notes, you can see that there's many work examples where you can actually use. And in actual fact, the most important thing when you're looking at work example is actually to understand the intention and also the logic behind how the author come up with the answers. So this is the approach is actually what the student needs to learn while they're preparing for the exam, while looking through the work example. So I would say that from the approaches, then you'll be able to handle even if the question changes a little bit or have any sort of variation. So if any of you is looking to improve your science grade, do go to sapgrp.com to grab a copy of the science notes or visit any of the popular bookstores. If any of you is looking to improve your mathematics and science grades, do visit our website at pftuition.sg, where you can look at the list of tuition programs that we have. And in fact, recently we have improved the program by launching the synergetic program for the science students. Mainly the program is actually to help students to improve their science grade while working on their mathematics. This is because we have seen many students struggling with the science subject, not really because of the sciences, but mostly because of the mathematics. So while we are working through the sciences, we will always help students to recap the mathematics portion before we work on the sciences itself.